Hey man, say man. This is the A-Man Show back at it again for more content. Well, it's NFL content, but y'all know the deal, man. This is a video I want to make because I feel like people are not talking about this player who plays for the Tennessee Titans, who is the NFL leading rusher in Derrick Henry. Now, Derrick Henry really had a breakout year because in the first 9 games of the 2019 season, he was looking like he was going to rush for over 800 to 900 total yards around that area. But after week 9, this man was unstoppable in the last 5 games of the season because 4 of the 5 games he played, he rushed for over 100 yards. In one game, he was short of rushing for over 100 rushing yards. In the last game of the season, he rushed for over 211 yards. He was short of making the all-time single game rushing list. So we all know that Henry is good. I mean, very good. But I don't think that people know how unique of a player he is, especially in the running back position, and this is why. And before the video starts, make sure y'all click on the subscribe button down below. If y'all really love NBA and NFL content, then this is the channel for y'all. And also click on the notifications bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. Anyways, Lego.
I paid my dues, now I'm a made man. I call my fame, now I'm a made man. You never see me again. I got the juice, now I'm a made man.
Running backs is the most prominent position in the offense, second to quarterbacks. They're usually the players that set the tone for a big play, whether that is play action passes, red zone plays, and they're also the epitome of highlight reels. You got one of the most entertaining players of all time who play at the running back position, players like Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, and LaDainian Tomlinson. All of them are Hall of Famers. Now, you notice that all the players, they're around like 5'9 to 5'11, and they're usually stocky built. And the most successful running backs in the league are usually the ones who are usually 5'9 to 5'11. That's usually the most prominent running backs around that height range. And then you got these 6 foot tall running backs, players like Adrian Peterson, who is 6 foot tall and spent years dominating the league and breaking countless amount of records in his time with the Minnesota Vikings. And players above 6 foot tall is really where the list of successful running backs narrows down. You got Brandon Jacobs, who is a staggering 6'4", 260-pound running back who had a key role in the run in the Super Bowl with the New York Giants. And the thing about him is that he's a grit and pound guy. What I mean by that is that he's going to cut down the hole, pound guys on the ground, and take it to the house. I mean, he is very successful doing that shit, as he had 2 seasons where he rushed for over 1,000 yards and is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. But compared to all the players I mentioned before, who's by the way shorter than him, he is simply not even close to their league. And then you get Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is proving why he is the exception of the rule, as this man is 6'3" and 250 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. No wonder this man has been so dominant all throughout high school. I mean, this man has started in varsity as a freshman all throughout high school. He hit 2,000 plus yards all 4 years. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest high school players of all time. He is definitely in that category. This man was ridiculous. Astonishing. In his time at Alabama, he wasn't the first or second stringer in his freshman and sophomore year. He wasn't fully utilized, but once he got touches, he was rolling. It wasn't until his junior year is where he finally unleashed, as the shit he was doing to defenders with limited touches. It was a day and night thing. That's the difference. I mean, this man was striking literally every defender on the field, stiff arming D linemen. I mean, 300-pound gorillas he was stiff arming, man. That season led him to receiving a Heisman along with winning a national championship, and don't forget his big ass standing with Mark Ingram. That is the most memorable memes in the last decade. Well, that's also an achievement, I guess. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Henry will later be drafted in the second round of the 2016 draft, which by the way he had numerous legitimate Pro Bowl talent. Players who are drafted ahead of Derrick Henry is Jared Goff, as he was drafted with the 1st overall pick, and Zeke Elliott with the 4th overall selection. Now, Zeke is an elite player of his own right, especially in his rookie season. He dominated and broke so many records, but later in his career, he has regressed, and players like Derrick Henry is moving up in the rankings on each of our lists. And this year, he has proven that he's the best halfback in his draft class. So this man has been an absolute draft steal in a relatively solid draft class, but based on his caliber and plus he won a national championship and a Heisman, there's no reason why he wasn't selected in the first round. If he was drafted to another team like the Vikings where they needed another running back, but they selected Laquan Treadwell, who's absolutely anus, as he has been one of the most least productive wideouts we have in this league. If they haven't passed on Derrick Henry, then they could have been at least made to the NFC Championship, or at least been a team that can go on a deep playoff run in the NFC. If Henry was on the Vikings, he would have produced out of the gate. Yes, I truly believe that he can have somewhat of a rookie season, just like the season he had last year, because we have seen the glimpses of his potential, even though he only had 110 carries for only 450 total yards. But that's only the season where DeMarco Murray had a comeback year following the 2014 season, MVP season he had with the Dallas Cowboys. But the next year where he played 15 games, he has gone worse, which has led to his retirement in 2018. Now, there's some speculation that DeMarco Murray has suffered some injuries before the 2017, which has led to his regression. Maybe, I'm not really sure, but that led to his retirement in 2018. Derrick Henry is nothing we have seen before. He has a tight end built body who plays running back, but that didn't stop him from dominating. The man has long arms. He has a 33-inch wingspan, so that enables him to stiff arm defenders easily. Whether he cuts through the opening, he's really hard to stop on the open field. He's basically the NFL's Giannis Antetokounmpo. The similarities of both of them is that whether they drive forward, they are unstoppable because both of them are freakishly athletic along with their sheer size and strength. It's going to be easier for them to dominate, and plus they're entering the primes of their career. We have never seen a halfback who's this big, who's producing at such a high level, if not dominant, than Derrick Henry's. The only guy he can make a case for is Brandon Jacobs. Now, Jacobs has been one of the more better power backs of the late 2000s to early 2010s, but his production isn't as staggering or more dominant as Derrick Henry's. He has never led the league in rushing yards, let alone rushing touchdowns, as Henry did in his entire career. And Derrick Henry never been this dominant early in his career. And what I mean by that is that he wasn't always that dominant rusher he is as the clear-cut starter on the team, because it was his time to take up the mantle as a clear-cut starter in Matt LaFleur's offense. But in 12 games of the 2018 season, he has failed to rush for at least 6 yards per carry. Dion Lewis has been outplaying him, and there are many discussions of Henry getting traded. It wasn't until Eddie George, a former running back, transformed Henry into the league-leading rusher we all know today, and he's just getting started. Look at his playoff stats of last year. He was by far the best running back of last year's postseason and arguably the second best player in the playoffs behind my boy Patrick Mahomes. He rushed for over 630 total yards and 3 touchdowns, and he was the catalyst of the Cinderella run with the Titans that made it all the way to the AFC Championship, and they were up by a field goal in the first quarter. But the collapse of the Titans defense and the greatness of Mahomes ultimately made them come up short of capturing an AFC title. Now, this offseason has been ridiculous. The Buffalo Bills getting Stephon Diggs from the Vikings, and most importantly, the Titans lose Jack Conklin in free agency, as he's one of the best offensive tackles in the league, as he was the reason why Henry led the league in rushing yards. And without him on the team, I believe that Henry can progress in the upcoming 2020 season, as he's only 26 years old and just entering his prime years. And looking at the photos in his Instagram, his ass done beefed up. Get ready, NFL. Henry finna rumble. I know it sounds corny, but Henry's easily a top 3 running back in this league, and he just signed his franchise tag too. Now this team is poised to be a contender in the AFC, and Henry is going to lead the way to this team because this man is the NFL's unicorn. He can do things of a regular NFL running back, but he is 6'3", 250. Strong as an ox and surprisingly quick and agile for his size. The only flaws of his game is that he is only quick and agile for his size. But compared to a regular sized running back, he doesn't have the footwork or isn't as shifty. Well, he doesn't need to be shifty or have elite footwork. He's still taking it to the house and is one of the hardest players to take down in the open field. Based on his uniqueness as a running back, he can potentially start the trend of taller running backs coming into the league, because Henry has been proven that you can still be elite despite your size in a league where running backs are getting smaller and more versatile. And compared to all the tallest running backs in NFL history, Derrick Henry can be the most accomplished running back who is 6'3" or taller. And that's all I got for y'all. If y'all really like football and basketball, then click on the subscribe button so y'all can stay tuned to new uploads, and also click on the notification bell so y'all will be notified and not miss any of my new videos. And that always, guys, this is the A-Man Show, signing out.